So today we'll start off doing a little bit of breathing and a little bit of extra core work today. We'll work on the legs and the core, which we do from time to time. We always do a lot of core, right? And then we'll progress. I think maybe we'll do half moon poses and we'll go from there. Maybe end up doing crow, something like that. Let's see. We'll see how it progresses. So just come into a comfortable seated position, resting the hands on the legs. So I like to create a circle with the thumb and the index finger. I'm just resting the back of my hands on the knees, close the eyes, and just visualize your body, just observe your body, getting length in the spine. Just keeping the natural curves of the spine, but broadening across the collarbone, relaxing the shoulders, the face, and then bring all your focus, all your attention to the breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose as you inhale, pulling that air in, filling the lungs, expanding the ribs. Exhale, make that exhale just as long as you inhale. Long, slow, deep breaths. Each inhale, trying to pull in a little bit more air, make it a little deeper each time. So what we're going to do, continue the deep breathing, but we're going to pause at the top of the inhale. So as you breathe in, as much as you can, we'll just hold the breath for a second or two, and then exhale. Inhaling, hold, and then exhale. And then just repeat a few more times. So we're going to do some dynamic stretching of the neck. So we're going to take the neck over from side to side with the breath. So we start off with an inhale, and on the exhale, bringing the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale the head up, exhale over to the other side. Inhale up, exhale to the side. Just moving with the breath. Next time you have the right ear to the right shoulder, hold the pose, don't hold the breath, and just hang out here for 3 or 4 breaths. Inhale the head up, exhale over to the other side and hold. Inhale the head back up. Now we're going to turn the head from side to side with the breath, looking over the right shoulder on the inhale, and then back to center, and then turning the head in the other direction. Actually, it's inhaling as you come back to center, exhaling as we turn the head to the side. We tend to go into a deeper stretch on the exhales, and sometimes I forget that. Just going a little deeper into the stretch with the exhales. Remember, just keep yourself safe. If it starts to hurt, back off. Don't let it hurt. I don't mind a little bit of discomfort, but pain is not good. Next time you're looking over the right shoulder, we hold that position. Trying to look behind you. Inhale to center, exhale turning the head in the other direction. Inhale to center, exhale, chin to chest. Now this time we're just going to rotate the head in one direction, just like as if you're drawing circles in the air with the chin. Take your time. We're doing about 3 rotations, and we end up with the chin at the chest, and we circle in the other direction. And again we end up with the chin at the chest. We bring the head back up, back to neutral, and we just work on the shoulders a little bit, just loosening up. So we're going to do some core work. We'll start off on our legs, and we do this from time to time. This is a little bit more like Pilates than yoga, but this is a good one. It's going to strengthen the legs. Doesn't matter which side you start. So we're lying on our side, and you can support the head with the hand, or you can bring the head down onto the arm. Doesn't matter which. Both legs are slightly forward of hips. And then we're going to bring the top leg up as high as we can, full range of motion, and then back down. So we'll do that a few times. And then we're going to do the same thing, but this time we bring the top leg slightly forward, and we point the toes towards the ground, and we bring the leg back up and down. So we're getting to a different spot. So this is going to work the medius glutes, something we tend to neglect a little bit. So this is a good one. Now we take the leg up and a little bit further back, but we turn the toes up, heel down, and you've got to lean slightly forward so you don't roll onto your back, and then we bring the leg up and down. You should be starting to feel this. Full range of motion, bringing the leg up as high as you possibly can. And then we're just going to circle that top leg in one direction. And then in the other direction. And you might feel this, you might be going for a walk later on today or tomorrow, and you say, how come my glutes are a little bit achy, a little bit sore? It's probably because of this workout, which is fine, it's good sore, it should wear off in a day or two. And then we're going to take the top leg in front of the bottom leg. We're going to work on the bottom leg this time. Slightly point the toes of the bottom leg towards the ground and lift that leg up as high as you can and back down. It won't go up very high, but we're trying to work the inner leg muscles this time. And then turn the heel slightly down, toes up, and continue lifting the leg up and down. And then we're just going to circle the leg in one direction. So this is going to strengthen the inner leg muscles. And this helps, I think, to even out the strength of the legs, the leg muscles, keeps the knee in a good alignment. And there we go. And then we're going to switch to the other side. You can just flip over. I'm going to face the screen, so I'm just going to turn around completely. Both legs slightly forward of the hips. We start bringing the top leg up and down, full range of motion. Take your time. Sometimes I think you get more benefit if it's slow rather than just going crazy and fast. And then we turn the toes towards the ground, and we just touch the ground with the toes in front of that bottom leg. Getting a little different spot of the medius glutes. Then we turn the heel down Toes up, leaning slightly forward so you don't roll onto your back. Still bringing that leg up as high as you can. I'm starting to feel this one. And then we just circle the leg in one direction. And then circle in the other direction. Nice big circles. And then bring that top leg in front of the bottom leg. And we're lifting that bottom leg up and down, pointing the toes towards the ground. Heel towards the ground, toes up. And then just circle one direction. And then in the other direction. And then we come back up into a seated position. So that's a good leg exercises. And sometimes I do add a few extra different kinds of workout there too. So now we're going to go onto our back and do some core work. So let's start off on your back, knees are bent, and we're just going to pull the knees in nice and close and just touch the ground with the toes and then just bring the knees back in. We do this, you know this one. This is a nice easy one. If you have any back concerns, this is good. If you have back concerns, keep the knees bent. You can always revert back to this if any of the other exercises we do start to bother the back. But next we straighten one leg, other knees bent, and we just switch, keeping the legs nice and low. Maybe a few little creaks and cracks in the knees, but that happens especially as you get older like me. Now we're going to add the arms as one knee comes in, opposite arm over the head, trying to synchronize the movement of the arms and the legs. Why are we doing core work? It helps to protect the back. It's not explicitly yoga, but it helps with the yoga poses, building the core, making it easier to get into some of the poses, especially poses like crow, any hand balance poses, bridge, it helps with bridge. Okay, next, we're going to bring the knees in nice and close, arms either side of you, but as you bring the knees in, you're lifting the tailbone off the ground. This is a tough one. So pulling the knees in and then back down. And I've got my arms either side on the ground, so I'm pushing the hands into the ground to help lift the tailbone off the ground. You're going to feel this. This is a good workout. A few more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we bring the feet down. Another one I sometimes do is with the legs straight and bring the legs up and down, but be careful with that one. You can put pressure on the back. We've worked the abs, so let's work the obliques a little bit. Just start off easy, taking the feet wide apart, knees bent, and we just do windshield wipes. This is going to mobilize the back, get a bit more mobility there, stretching out the back muscles and also strengthening the obliques a little bit. So windshield wipers, and the next one I also called windshield wipers, but this one a little bit more strenuous. We take the legs up to the ceiling. You're going to keep 90 degrees between the legs and the torso, arms either side of you. They're at about 45 degrees, and we take the legs about halfway down, back up, and over to the other side halfway down. The arms are really helpful, so you take the legs down nice and slow, and to help you bring the legs back up. So go down as low as is comfortable, not too low, so you don't want to make it too difficult. Although you might be able to almost touch the ground with the toes, but most of us are not there yet. But the lower you go, the more you have to work on this. But try not to let the legs go away from you as you bring them over to the side. You're trying to keep that 90 degrees all the time between the legs and the torso. A couple more each side. And then we bring the feet down to the ground. Next, this is going to work the gluteus max and also strengthen the back and the quads. We go up, this dynamic movement, up and down into bridge. We go up on the inhale, and before you go up, you're pushing the lower back into the ground. So whenever you're ready, inhale, pushing into the ground and then lifting those hips up. Exhale as you come down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Just do a few more at your pace. You keeping the legs parallel at all time. And as I say, this is going to work the quads for you. It's going to work the glutes, strengthen the back, open the chest. Bridge. Bridge is good. We do a lot of bridge. In fact, I think we'll hold bridge. Next time you're up, hold the pose. Keep the gaze towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands. Walk the shoulders, the arms a little closer. Push the arms, hands, and the head into the ground. Push the feet into the ground like crazy. Keep the legs parallel. Do not let the knees splay out. And probably the back, the hips are neutral, so the hips are in line with the knees and the shoulders. You can bring the hips up a little higher, but don't let it bother the back. And you breathe. And we slowly come down. We pull the knees in, close, we rock from side to side. We take hold of the back of the legs. We rock up into boat, holding onto the legs for people that have any back concerns. If your back is good, arms either side of the legs. Next challenge, legs come up. The higher the legs, the straighter the legs, the more you're going to have to work to keep that back neutral. Try not to let the back round. We pull the feet in. We come onto our hands and knees. We do cat-cow a few times. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale, round in the back, tucking the chin. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cat. So the next time you're in cat, hold cat, an easy cat. Make sure the wrists are under the shoulders. Head is totally relaxed. You're pushing the hands into the mat. You start rounding the back a little bit more, pulling the belly in towards the spine. The back should like this. We then come into cow and we hold cow. Now this time, imagine the hands are glued to the mat and you're pulling the hands towards the knees, and you're going to feel that working that core. You're looking up, you're dropping the belly, try not to sink too much between the shoulder blades. We come into neutral, we bring the right arm up. Hand is higher than the shoulders, thumb up towards the ceiling, and you're going to lunge slightly forward, and that's going to work the core a little bit more. Breathe. And then if you want, you can bring the opposite leg up. You're still trying to lunge a little bit more forward. See how far forward you can go. It's going to make you work a bit harder. You're breathing, you're not holding the breath. And then we switch. Other arm, just the arm to begin with, thumb towards the ceiling. And then we bring the whole body more forward, trying to keep that arm raised. You're breathing a little bit more forward. Maybe add the leg, optional. Keep lunging forward. And then we bring the hand down. We bring the forearms onto the ground, elbows under the shoulders, palms together, knees under the hips, tuck the toes, dolphin pose. You're pushing into the ground with the forearms, especially the elbows. So the head is off the ground, and then you're pushing the ground away from you, straightening out that line, elbows through the shoulders to the hips. Knees are bent, probably, at least to begin with, trying to get the back neutral. If you want to try straightening the legs, you can, but keep that back neutral. Natural curve of the lower back, and breathe. Nice shoulder opener, stretching out the legs. Head should be off the ground. If the head is touching the ground, probably your elbows are too far apart. Hands and knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. We bring the toes closer to each other. We start walking the dog, bending one knee as you straighten the opposite leg. For me, this is a calf muscle stretch. It might be for you, or it might be more of a hamstring stretch. We're all a little bit different. Hold one leg straight, one knee bent. Go a little deeper into down dog, pushing the thumb, index finger into the mat. Pull the armpits towards the ground. Look at the feet and breathe. So the deeper you can get, the more you can bring the hips back, and the lower you can get the head to the ground, the less angle there is at the wrists. So it's easier on the wrists. Other leg straight, other knee bent. And then we look forward, we walk forward between the hands, inhaling halfway up, exhale as you fold forward, relaxing the head, knees bent, and we come all the way up and then back into mountain. So we did a lot before we got into the sun salutations. Normally we're in the flow, 10 minutes into the flow by now, but this is all good stuff, right? Standing position, Tadasana, mountain pose. Close the eyes. Turn the palms slightly forward, broaden across the upper chest, the collarbone. Open the eyes. Inhale as you bring the arms up, look up. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up, sweeping the arms up. Exhale into mountain. One more. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, we come all the way up. Keep the arms raised. Interlace the fingers. Reach towards the ceiling. So I've got my fingers interlaced. I'm pointing the index finger towards the ceiling. You probably can't see my hands. Reach towards the ceiling. Get length. And then lean over to one side. Keeping the whole body in one plane. We're going to move from side to side with the breath. Inhale coming up. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to the side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And this time I'm going to hold. Hold the pose, don't hold the breath. You're looking up slightly towards the ceiling. Maybe going deeper with the breath. Getting a good side stretch. Inhale up, exhale to the other side. Inhale, come back up. Keep the arms either side of the face. You're trying to keep the face framed with the arms as you lean back. And as you lean back, you're engaging the glutes a little bit more. Go as far back as is comfortable and breathe. Inhale and come back up. You reaching forward and then you fold all the way down. Now this time we're going to bend the knees and rest the belly on the legs. Head is totally relaxed. And then we take hold of the back of the legs. You're trying to keep contact between the belly and the legs. And maybe you can straighten the legs a little bit more, getting a little bit more of a hamstring stretch. Keep the belly close, very close to the legs. That keeps the back safe. And then we come back up. Inhaling as the arms come up. Exhale back into mountain. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Come to the front of the mat at the same time. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We walk into plank. Knees down, elbows in, chin chest forward and down. Inhaling into cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in warrior one. I meant to do the mirror image, but never mind. Warrior one, we take a bit of a back bend and then we flow to the other side. We're back in plank. Chaturanga on knees, chin, chest to ground. Cobra or up dog. Back into down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in warrior one on the other side. Adding a bit of a back bend. And then we come back into plank. And we're going to hold plank. More core work. Walk the feet back so the heels are over the toes. If it hurts the wrists, you could do a forearm plank. Side plank. Bring the right hand to center. Stack the feet. Stack the arms. Bottom knee can be down or top foot can be down in front of you. Reach up towards the ceiling. You're looking up. You're breathing. For those that want a more challenge, top leg can come up. Back into plank. Side plank on the other side. Breathe. Maybe bring the top leg up. Back into plank. Chaturanga. Always be careful with chaturanga. No chaturanga if you've got any shoulder issues. If you've got shoulder issues, knees, chin, chest to ground. And then cobra. And then up dog. Hold up dog. Let's talk about up dog. So in up dog, I'm pulling my belly in towards the back. So I'm really engaging that core. And that keeps the back safe. You don't want to take it too much in the lower back. Exhale back into down dog. And then we look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale as you fold forward, relaxing the head. Bend the knees. Into chair. And then back into mountain. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're back in plank. Chaturanga, elbows in. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're back in warrior one. We add a little bit of a back bend. Next exhale, warrior two. Keeping that front knee nicely lined up with the foot. Reverse warrior. And then into plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Warrior one on the other side. Bit of a back bend. Warrior two. Reverse warrior. And then into plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. We hold down dog for maybe 5 breaths. If you want to do child's pose, you can. If you want to do the vinyasa, plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog, you can do that. We all end up in downward facing dog. We look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent, and we come up into chair and then into mountain. Okay, we're going to do same flow, but we're going to add half moon, Ardha Chandrasana, and revolved half moon. And maybe you want a block, so block might be useful. You don't have to have a block. Some people like it. We come to the front of the mat. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale folding forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale we plant the hands. We walk into plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale we sweep that foot through. We come into warrior one. Couple of breaths. We exhale into warrior two. So let's hold warrior two for a little bit. And usually if I'm holding the pose, I start to go a little deeper. Eventually you're 90 degrees at that front knee is lined up with the foot, no further forward than the ankle. Reverse warrior, and from here, half moon, we reach for the block. The block is outside the foot, it's in front, at least a foot. Other leg comes up, you're stacking the arms, and then you're raising that top leg. You're trying to get a straight line from that top foot all the way through to that top shoulder. You're flexing that top foot, pushing the heel out, pulling the toes in. Top arm, make sure the hand is lined up. And then we come back down into warrior two, reverse warrior, and then the revolved version, we sweep the back hand and we shift the block over to the left so it's inside the foot, and we open up in the other direction, the revolved version. Do the best you can. And then we come back out into warrior two. Don't worry, you'll get a chance to do that again, and we'll just add some variations. Let's switch to the other side. Reverse warrior, into plank, chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up, exhale sweep that foot through. We're in warrior one on the other side. Hold warrior one. I'm going to switch to the other side, you don't have to. So we're in warrior one, we add a bit of a backward bend, and we exhale into warrior two. Maybe go a little deeper into the pose. Lines of energy through the arms, shoulders nice and soft. Reverse warrior, and then we come into half moon, with or without the block. Take your time, keep your balance. So that bottom arm, leg are parallel. The ribs are parallel to the floor, so you're making a rectangle with the legs, arm, ribs and the floor. Top leg is raised as best you can. Straight line from that top heel all the way through to the top shoulder. Top hand nicely lined up with the arm. Arm lined up with the back. Think straight lines. We come back into warrior two. The revolved version, reverse warrior. Now the reason I like to go into reverse warrior first is then I can swing that back arm. I get a little bit of momentum to easily get back into the revolved version of Ardha Chandrasana. Trying to open up, do the best you can. Not an easy pose. And then we come back into warrior two, reverse warrior, into plank, chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog, and then child's pose. We haven't done many child's pose. And then relax. Back on your hands and knees, downward facing dog. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up, exhale folding forward, knees bent, and we come up into chair and then back into mountain pose. So we're going to do half moon, just half moon this time. Well, maybe from warrior 2 into half moon, we'll see. But we'll do a couple of variations. I think you guys know the variations. So let's go straight into warrior 2. Have the block ready if you want it. You don't have to have the block, but some people like it. Reverse warrior, and then into half moon. So I'm not using the block this time. So the first variation is you take that bottom hand and you bring it to the heart. Try that if you want. The second variation is you reach for that top foot, a little bit like dancer pose, and then we're pushing the foot into the hand, opening up. Now, is it possible to add bottom hand to the heart at the same time? Let's see. Briefly. And then we come back out into warrior 2. We swivel on the heels. So we're in warrior 2 facing the other direction. Reverse warrior, and then into half moon. Variation 1, we bring the bottom hand to the heart. Variation number 2, we take hold of that top foot and we're pushing the foot into the hand and we're opening up. Variation 1 and 2 combined, hand to the heart and then back down. And then we come back into warrior 2. We face the edge of the mat, we take the feet wider. Nice and wide, feet are parallel. We hinge at the hips, and as you hinge you're looking up. You're trying to keep the back rounded, the back neutral, not rounded, for as long as you can. You then bring your hands under the shoulders. So the arms and the legs are parallel, the hands are directly under the shoulders. You're pushing the outer edge of the feet into the mat. And then as you straighten one leg, you bend the opposite knee. Keeping the hands in place. Inhale up, exhale over to the other side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good stretch on the inside of the leg, stretching out the adductors. All the time you're keeping the whole sole of the foot onto the mat. You're trying to push the outer edge of the foot into the mat at all times. So you're not coming onto the inside of the foot. Even up. Bring the right hand to center. You can use a block if you want. So the hand is under the shoulders. Bottom shoulder is pulled away from the head and in. Then you bring the other arm up, trying to keep the arm nicely lined up with the back, adding the twist and breathe. Don't let the head drop. Top hand comes down, centered, other shoulder pulled in as we bring the other arm up, taking the twist in the other direction. And then we bring the hand down, both hands in front under the shoulders, and then we start walking the feet together, heel toe, heel toe. And then we bend the knees and we just roll up. Inhaling as the arms come up. Exhale back into mountain. So I think since we did that dancer-like pose, let's do tree. And then if you want to transition into dancer, you can. So balance on the right foot. Bringing the left foot inside that leg, below the knee or above the knee. Do not push into the knee joint. Knee won't be happy with you if you do that. You bring the palms together, relaxing the shoulders. Focus on something not moving. Whenever you're ready, the arms come up. I just keep the arms, the hands parallel. Some people like to bring the fingers together, it's up to you. If you want to hold tree, that's fine. If you want to try dancer pose, we take hold of that top foot, either the inside or the outside of the foot. Try not to let the legs splay out. You're keeping that top knee in nice and close. Don't let it come out to the side, otherwise you will lose the balance. Other arm extended forward. You hinge forward as you push that back foot into the hand. Come slow. I think it helps keep the balance if you go slow and breathe. I can feel those hips work. After all that hip stuff at the beginning of the class, I can feel it in those glutes. Makes it more of a challenge for this pose, I think. If you drop out, just try again. Take your time. So eventually you're going to see that top foot appear above the head. You're looking forward, trying to line up the sides with the hand. This isn't working too well for me today. Let's try one more time. There we go. A little better. And then we come out. Shake out the legs, the arms, the shoulders, whatever. Other side. As I say, if you just want to do tree, stay in tree, that's just fine. Bring in the other foot inside that standing leg. Opening the hips, engaging the quads, palms together, shoulders relaxed. Arms up whenever you're ready. Find something not moving to focus on and breathe. And then if you want to try dancer pose on this side, we take hold of that top foot, keeping the legs in close to each other. Extend the other arm forward, hinging forward, pushing that top foot into the hand and breathe. So I've got the balance, but I think when I did it on the first side, I think I was looking at the screen and I think that put my balance off. That's my excuse. Really push that back foot into the hand. Try and raise that back leg. Raise the arm, breathe, and then come out and shake everything out. Whew. Extend the arms to the side. We'll just do half eagle, not full eagle. Arms extended, lines of energy through the arms. We bring the right arm under the left arm. We get the back of the hands facing each other or the palms face each other. Maybe touch the nose with the thumb. Maybe bring the arms up. I like to bring the arms up. Getting a nice stretch across the upper back. This is one of my favorite shoulder stretches. Make sure the head is not jetting forward, and then we release. We shake the arms out, extend the arms to the side. We bring the left arm under the right arm. So I'm getting the fingers of one hand into the palm of the other hand. Touch the nose maybe, and then bring the arms up and breathe. And then release and shake out. So how are we doing on time? I think we have time for crow. let's just stretch the wrists out a little bit. So come down, have the toes touching, the knees apart, and bring the hands between the legs, fingers pointing towards the feet, and just fingers spread, and we're just stretching out the wrist a little bit. This is a good stretch for me. Some people, if you're pretty flexible at the wrist, you might not feel much, but I feel this. And this is good to do for me, for some of us, before crow. Stretches the wrists out. If you're not feeling any stretch, much of a stretch, try and reposition the hands. Pull them in a little closer maybe to the feet. If it's too much of a stretch, you can just bring the sit bones higher. If you have any wrist issues, crow is probably not the pose for you. Probably just avoid crow. You could just hang out in the squat. So we're going to 2 ways to get into crow. As you know, we do this quite often. So the first way is we start off in the squat and we're pushing the upper arms into the legs. And then we come on our toes, we look forward all the time, keep lengthening the throat. And the upper arms are like shelves for the legs. We're leaning on that shelf, we're leaning forward. And we let one foot float, and then the other foot float. And we bring the toes together, and you breathe. Remember, don't kick up. If you kick up, you probably, because you've got the hips too far back, you're never going to get up. You've got to bring those hips forward to get everything lined up and to work with gravity, right? The other way to get into it is from a standing position, and this time the knees are more on the back of the arms, as close to the armpits as possible. So I'm on my toes, I'm trying to get the knees close to the armpits. Again, I'm looking up, keeping length in the throat, and I'm leaning onto those upper arms, and I'm bringing one leg up and then the other leg up, and I'm breathing. So the knees are really pushing into those arms. A little bit of pressure there, but it's okay. It's not hurting too much. And breathe, and we come out. And then sometimes some of us can jump into chaturanga, but I don't think I have the energy for that today. So crow, your choice. And as I say, if you're kicking up like this, it's probably because this weight is too far back. You've got to bring that weight forward. That's why we're pivoting on the toes. You're bringing that weight forward, and it's almost, you feel like you're going to topple over, but you don't. You just bring the feet off the ground, toes together, and you're in crow. A lot of core work for it. It's going to build the core work, but also you need a core work to get into it. And you also need the confidence. A lot of people are scared, and then they'll tuck the chin. If you tuck the chin, you're going to land on your head, and that's not good. So that's why we always keep the throat open, so we've got more weight heading back rather than forward. If you tuck the chin, you can come and you can do it controlled. You could get into a headstand, but I don't teach headstands when I'm doing a virtual class. Come onto your back. Have a block handy. Feet are in, knees are bent. Bring the outer of the left foot onto the right leg. Keep the right foot onto the ground. Place the left hand onto the inside of the left thigh. Just push that leg away from you. Try and get a bit of opening on the inside of the hip. Switch legs. Bring the outer of the right ankle onto the left leg, left foot is on the ground, and you push that right leg away. Switch legs. This time, we take hold of the back of the right leg, recline pigeon, thread the needle, we pull the legs in, at the same time tailbone towards the ground. Left foot, dorsiflexion, heel pushed out, toes pulled in, using quite a lot of arm strength to pull the legs in closer, and then we just rock a little bit from side to side. Nice hip stretch of the outer hip. We're stretching out the back a little bit. We're massaging the lower back. This is a good pose. I do this nearly every day. Helps to keep my back in good shape. We switch. Bring the outer of the right ankle onto the left leg. We hold on to the back of the left leg. You're pulling the legs in. So we're trying to pull the legs in. At the same time, we're trying to pull the tailbone towards the ground. It's almost like you're trying to hollow the lower back. And you breathe. And then you rock. I'm into rocking when I do this. And we release. We come into happy baby, holding onto the feet. A lot of arm strength as you're pulling the legs down towards the ground. We take hold of the big toes, first two fingers, the thumb round the big toe, palms face each other, and then extend the legs into a V or approaching a V position. You're trying to keep the tailbone towards the ground, you're pulling the shoulders down away from the ears. So more stretches to the adductors. And then we bring the feet down. We haven't done a lot of twists, although we have done some. So let's extend the right leg, pull the left knee in nice and close, and then take that right knee over to the and I've got my lefts and rights mixed up. My right leg is extended, my left knee is pulled in. I'm taking the left knee over to the right side, extending the left arm. Try and keep both shoulders on the ground. If it bothers the shoulder, just bring the hand onto the chest, onto the ribs, into that twist. Hold for 3 or 4 breaths. We unwind, knees come in, we rock from side to side, twist in the other direction, left leg extended, right knee pulled in. You take the right knee over to the left, and the right arm is extended, shoulders grounded, or you can bring that right hand onto the ribs and breathe. We come out of the pose, a little bit more rocking. Full body stretch. A little bit of a side stretch, stretching out one side of the body. Other side. And then into Shavasana, the pose we've all been waiting for. Palms face up, eyes closed, and just totally relax. Enjoy the pose, enjoy Shavasana. Maybe moisten the lips, keeping your attention on the breath. Check out the body, make sure you're not holding tension anywhere. Totally relax, letting yourself sink into the ground. Start to move the hands and toes a little bit. Just wiggling the feet, wiggling the toes, wiggling the fingers. And then stretch out the toes and stretch out the hands. And then just relax the hands and the feet. Stretch them out again. Trying to get as much space between the toes as you can, as much space between the fingers. And relax. One more time. Stretching out the toes, stretching out the hands. Relax. If you want to take a longer Shavasana, which it would be a good idea, I think, you can. If you're ready to come out, walk the feet in and just roll over to one side, keeping the eyes closed. Hang out here for a breath or two. And then gently push yourself into a seated position. Inhale as you sweep the arms up, bringing the palms together. Exhale as you bring the hands down, the arms down. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do 2 or 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. This time keep the palms together. Namaste.